Hello everyone, welcome to this new video series. This video series is based on class 11th NCERT Political Theory. And if you have been following UPSC toppers, you might have heard them saying cover your NCERT, it's the most important part. Yet a lot of people do not start with NCERTs. So if you're here, that means you're right, you're on the right path, and good luck. This NCERT textbook is actually one of the most important textbook in the NCERT section of polity, because this deals with a lot of basic concepts which you have to be absolutely clear before you move on to your preparation. This deals with a lot of concepts like equality, justice, freedom, citizenship, citizen nation, secularism, etc. So what is political theory? Political theory basically asks questions regarding the society, government, individual, etc. And then we systematically think about the values that inform the political life. And these values include freedom, equality, justice, citizenship, secularism, etc., as I have mentioned above. So what we do is we just basically define these concepts using examples and using terms from famous political thinkers. Also, at the same time, we will be comparing the state of social institutions that we participate in. Social institutions like family or all the other institutions like schools and offices, and then we analyze whether these political concepts are effectively implemented there or not. The objective of learning political theory is to train citizens to think rationally about political questions, so that they could make better options while participating in political processes like elections, etc. Then, what is politics? People have different ideas about what politics is. I mean, if you ask a politician what is politics, he might say that politics is about serving the public. That's his definition. Or for some other people, politics is something bad. They might say that politics is the part when you use your influence to get your personal needs. You might have heard people say that there is politics in cricket, there is politics in movies, etc. But one thing we need to realize is that politics, however good or bad it may sound, is actually very important and integral part of any society. Mahatma Gandhi once said that politics envelops us like the coils of a snake, and there is no other way out but to wrestle with it. That is, no society can survive without some form of political organization, because there will be a lot of people having different opinions, and it's really important that we collectively make a decision so that the society may survive, or else there will be chaos. And this is the reason politics arise, because people have different visions for what is just for them as well as the society. So there comes a need of multiple negotiations. Hence, there is a need of collective decision making, and hence politics. Then the usual question might be that why do we study political theory? What is the need of it? What does it have anything to do with me? I mean, if there is anyone who need to learn political theory, then it has to be judges or lawmakers or maybe media. Why common people? We need to understand that these principles and values did not emerge overnight, but they were emerged as a result of discussions. For example, Plato and Aristotle used to discuss with their students whether monarchy or democracy is better. The same goes for Karl Marx, Mahatma Gandhi, and B.R. Ambedkar. Another thing is that these values are being implemented in different sectors of the society in different phases, right? Not in the same way. For example, women in the society are not getting enough freedom and equality as their counterparts men. Another thing is that from time to time we encounter new interpretations from the existing laws. For example, Article 21, right to life and personal liberty. This was given different interpretation by our Supreme Court in different times. That is, the interpretation was somewhat more enlarged as per the requirements. Another thing is that we may discover new dimensions of rights as world develops. For example, the 21st century has made the world somewhat even more smaller because on information communication technology, there's internet, right? Again, there's a new dimension, and we have heard people doing cyberbullying or hacking and spamming. So there comes a new dimension, and hence the need of new rights for the people. Now let us put political theory into a practice. One thing we need to understand is that in mathematics there could be only one definition for one thing. For example, let's say a square or a rectangle, it has got a definition and it will not change. Whereas in political theory, each concepts have many definitions as per the context. As the context changes, the definition changes. For example, let's take the case of a queue. Let's say you are standing in a queue and you have to pay for food. You are standing in a queue to get food, you have to pay for food. Let's say someone cuts in between. How would you feel? You would feel cheated, right? Someone is getting in the queue, you might feel cheated because you have been standing in the queue, and you would want everyone to have the same opportunities like you. Now let's take another context. Let's say you are an old person or a disabled person. Now what would you want? Would you stand in the queue? No, you would want special provisions made, right? Since you are unable to stand long like healthy people, you want special provisions. Now let's take another context. Let's say you are poor. You cannot afford food. You cannot afford the money to pay for the food. In that case, you cannot even afford basic needs. So in that context, you might need something more and extra attention. So here, the meaning of equality changes as per the context. That is, the meaning of equality is dependent on the context. This is an example of political theory in practice. That is, we are revising its definition in different contexts and analyzing the situation. Then why should we study political theory? The main thing is that we are responsible citizens and we will take part in the political process of the country when you are after a certain age. It's 18 in India. Different countries may have different ages. If we have to be more efficient, then our decisions has to be more well informed. If our decisions are arbitrary, we won't be much helpful to the society. That is, educated citizen would lead to better outcomes from the government. An educated citizen will constructively criticize the government, hence the government is forced to make better policies for the citizen. Another thing is that we may encounter discrimination on daily basis of various sorts every day, and even we might be doing it unknowingly. Some people judge others quickly based on their race, based on their color, based on their height, based on their age, subconsciously or consciously. And also, learning political theory will expose us to systematic thinking. It is only by systematic thinking and civilized debates good healthy citizens could be made in the country, and only a good healthy citizen could make well informed political decisions for the betterment of the country. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video we will start with the basic term called freedom.